lift off. Crappy, take us past the scene that we saw last time because I didn't get it changed. Come on, Crappy, let's go! Yeah, the leg with the ball. I think it's worth seeing that again, okay? Just to remember what kind of nightmares exist in the bad game world. And that is certainly one of them, the leg basketball game. Half leg, half basketball? How do you win? I don't know. But you know what? I would say that was really a weird game by Kusog7ande standards. We still have, I don't know, there's maybe one person who can top that. Let's bring him in. Come on, Jeff, I want to talk about your game. Because I have no idea what it's going to be. This is round 4, everybody. We are in the final group round, and Jeff is here giving nothing but love.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff.
I am very excited about today's match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and look, your audio's coming through. Why didn't my audio come through by default?
I can't answer that. That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and blame leg basketball.
Oh, great.
I mean, that sounds like soccer. That's not what I'm talking. Okay, Jeff, whatever. You've got a game for us, so I've heard.
I do, and it's not a DOS game.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, it's for a system called the Acorn Archimedes.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, we've had a couple of games from it in the past, such as Bunny Racer and Dinosaur.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, it is a great system out of the UK. That had a lot of really interesting games for it. And today's game is called Bobby Blockhead versus the Dark Planet.
Here's the deal. I need to start making you type the name out for games because I had to enhance. I had to do some severe, not zooming in per se, but I actually had to open the full file in order to read what it said and then type it out. Yeah, Bobby Blockhead versus the Dark Planet. This is an hour match that we're going to be seeing the players try to make as much progress as they can, and whoever does takes the victory today, takes all the glory. There's so much glory to be had in Bobby Blockhead, though, you know?
There actually is, and I really like this game, and I actually contacted the developers to let them know that we were going to be streaming this today. I got a lovely email back, but I don't know if they're going to be stopping by or not.
Yeah, if they do, welcome in. We're like the one place in the world that will have bad games that we'll make fun of, but also talk very endearingly about, because I love so many games. And there are a lot of games back for platforms that I had never even heard of before, that tried things that I've never seen before in video games. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely from an era when things were not yet standardized and people were still experimenting to figure out what good game design was. And, I really like that about this sort of golden era of game development back then, that sort of anybody could learn a computing language and write something up and
put it
out there. This game was a commercial release. It was written by two people who are brothers.
Oh, I love that. We've seen married couples make games. We've seen now we've seen brothers. I don't know if we've ever had brothers help each other out in Kusog7ande before, but now we have.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We've had hot dog felons make video games.
Oh, that's right.
So why not siblings, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, the stories behind games are often as interesting as the games themselves. And, we don't necessarily... I don't know very much about the developers. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more during this match. But at the very least, we're going to learn about this game. And like just what I'm seeing on the demo screen, we haven't moved over there quite yet to show the game, but this looks like, my first instinct is that this looks a little bit like, what's it called? Balderdash? Or whatever it is, like the mining game where you don't want like gems or rocks to fall on you and you have to collect all the gems.
Yeah, this is a collectathon, and there are not things so much falling on you, but it is a kind of aesthetic that it may be familiar. It looks to me like a lot of games I've seen on Amiga.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. So we need to bother Tempestrol because Tempestrol still has not gotten to the screen that we need for capturing. Come on, Tempestrol. Show your gamer, I'm gonna kick your butt. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can bother Tempestrol if you haven't. Tempestrol!
So yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Acorn Archimedes system, the developers, the history of the game, its lore, what some of the players might be feeling as they're going through this game. So there's a lot in store today.
Yeah, actually, let me go ahead and show what I'm seeing for Tempestrol because everybody else will laugh. It's been sitting on the screen with Dalmatians, okay? They're just the freaking Dalmatians staring at this. There we go. There. Finally. Thank you, Crappy. I appreciate it. Walk us away from the Dalmatians.
So as you saw the high score screen lists Bandit and Phantom. Those are the screen names, I guess you could say, or handles.
The aliases.
The two people who made the game, the brothers.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was Bandit or Phantom that I was corresponding with.
Scary.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if one of them pops by because that would be really cool.
Yeah. They're in the UK, so it would be about 7 p.m. Their time.
Oh, perfect. So. They can eat dinner and watch Bobby Blockhead versus the Dark Planet. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I'm liking this music. It's kind of juicy sounding.
It's pretty good. I like the vibe. It reminds me of a lot of Amiga and demo scene.
Yeah,
music that was happening at the time.
Well, there we go, everybody. Bobby, not Mr. Blobby, just Mr. Bobby here. Thank goodness. If we have another Mr. Blobby game, I'm gonna die. We do not allow Mr. Blobby in my stream. He is creepy. He's blobby. I'm just not a fan of creepy blobby things. Bobby Blockhead versus the Dark Planet, everybody. That is the game that we have for you. And let me check to see if the players are ready. Okay, Bobby Blockhead versus the Dark Planet. I am very excited for this. So get ready, everybody. We definitely need you to spam some emotes, but Corndan, Jeff, what the crap? Why did I say Corn? I just always fall back on Corndan whenever I'm talking these days. Jeff, what would be appropriate emotes for chat to spam?
Well, this is a game about a dark planet where you're collecting light, so anything like light bulbs, lightning, those are all good.
Blocks, since he's a blockhead.
He is a blockhead. Keys, I guess. There isn't, oh, there's wall meat, so if you have turkeys.
Turkeys, okay. Blocks. Ooh, cats are kind of glowing. Ooh, I like those glowing cats in chat. Those are nice. But yeah, as soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start
And by the
our
way,
timer.
before we start, we do have one of the devs in chat.
Whoa, hello. It looks like anestism. I don't know how to say that, but you are Bandit and your brother is Phantom. We've got the devs here. I'm super excited. As we were saying, you know, this is a bad game tournament, but at the same time, this is like the one of the few corners of the internet where we're here to really celebrate the obscure, the weird, and oftentimes the bad. And Tempestrel, I think, is already getting a game over here.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. I thought was a little bit rude about
The
this
Scorpions!
game. There is a just sort of a place where you fall. You can't see what's going on beneath you, and then there's a pit that you can't get out
Oh,
of.
I love it. That's just like Super Pitfall for NES. Oh,
yes, and everybody's going to have that happen to them once.
Actually,
then
this
they'll never
gives
do it
me
again.
very big Super Pitfall vibes already. I was gonna say, like, graphic-wise, it was a little bit more Balderdash, but gameplay-wise, I'm leaning towards Super Pitfall.
So there are a couple of things like that in this game where I know they're just kind of trolling you, and I appreciate it because it generally only happens once, and it's like I just kind of laughed when it happened.
I think it's great. So,
Yeah.
oh, there we go. Tempestrel back in the pit, and the tombstone comes back up. I just love that the scorpions come to visit your dead body. They're like, hey, how you doing, Bobby? Oh my gosh, this is cute. I'm really liking this so far.
The basic premise of this game is it's a collect-a-thon, right?
Okay.
And you are needing to get a certain number of items to finish. And those yellow lights that you are seeing are the main items, but there are also some alien treasure that you can pick up as well.
Okay.
And so you just need to pick up all the items and find your way to the exit to move on to the next level.
Yeah,
There are
gotcha.
25 levels, so I don't think we're going to be seeing anybody completing the game today.
We did, by the way, see Time Wanderer open the map. I just saw the dev said that there's a map that you can pick up. Whether or not it'll help is another thing. I think that maybe in later stages it may help, but early on, probably not. And considering we only have an hour or so, it might not be the most urgent pickup for the players to get.
It's certainly nice to have there, and so that you don't sort of get lost. But because you can't really see like where the locks and keys on it, it doesn't help you fully plan out a route at the beginning.
Per Bandit, the developer, the brothers were 16-year-olds making this game in their attic. What the crap? Do you know what I was doing at 16 years old? Well, I was in West Side Story, but I was also like, I was a jet, and my name was Mouthpiece, which has no speaking lines, but is still credited in the movies as well. So I had like an actual movie. It was based off of a real role that existed, but yeah, I wasn't making video games, and I definitely wasn't making something that like ran this smoothly on a computer system that I've never heard of.
Well, I think if you had grown up in the UK at the time, you would be familiar with the Acorn Archimedes.
Sorry, girls. I said two guys in the attic, but I've been corrected by the devs that, what the crap, we had a 2-woman team in their teenagers making this.
No.
Teenagers in their teen. I'm so tired.
I think you're misunderstanding that a little bit. The developers are Michael and Steven.
I'm so confused. I'm tired, Jeff. I'm so tired. Help me.
He was just saying he was getting into girls at around that age.
Oh yeah. I was gay, so I didn't even worry about that. I got to skip that part.
Yeah, so you need to collect these yellow things. They're called Watinium crystals, and you need to
What?
get all of them.
Okay.
And there are, roughly like, I don't know, 100 or so of them in the first level.
Yeah.
And there is a timer, but the timer is not on the screen. You have to go to the terminal and look at the screen on the terminal.
Uh-oh.
Those little computers, which you might periodically see the players doing, either because they want to look at the map or they want to check the number of items that are left to be collected. But the timer is given as a lengthy integer in 50ths of a second, which I take to mean that it's the number of frames that are left. And so the time limits are, I think, roughly like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes on some of these levels. So it's not a huge
Oh my gosh.
hurry.
Well, Time
but,
Wanderer is already on the second stage here, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've told everybody they need to write down these passwords, because if they don't, that's their own fault. But one thing that I thought was interesting about this game is that you don't get the password on stage completion. Once you get into the next level, you have to go look at the computer terminal to get the password. So it's possible that you get to level 2 and you die before you get the password, and then you don't get to restart at level 2.
Yeah, writing down the password will definitely be helpful. Question, does the password just save the level that you're on, or does it save other things as well? Because just saving the level, I think that's perfect.
Right. And it doesn't restore your health when you get to a new level.
Okay.
So you could start level 2 or 3 with almost no health and not yet knowing the password. So I've warned everybody to be careful of that, because I'd hate to see a match get decided on the basis of somebody not paying attention.
Now,
so they've all been warned.
Yeah, I honestly, just looking at this, when did this game come out?
This was 1991.
Okay, so
and
yeah,
one thing I'd be interested to hear a little bit more about from the devs. You'll see on the bottom right Armageddon, which is a demo group that the devs were part of. I watched one of their demos that looked like by this point they were the only 2 people left in the group. Other people had gone their separate ways to university or wherever.
That happens.
But the demos were really fantastic, both artistically and also just in terms of like showing off routines for rotating and zooming objects and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what other game we've had for the Acorn Archimedes, because it's not a very common system that we see on Kusog7ande.
Well, we had Bunny Racer.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, Bunny Racer's great, and we also had Dino Saw, which was, I guess, a little more traditional platformer.
Okay.
But yeah, Bunny Racer was fantastic, and the dev of that game very hopefully put it on his website and made a version available of it that's very easy to load and play.
Yeah, I'm really glad.
We also had Big Bang, which is a kind of weird acid trip of a game. So I've given out quite a few Acorn Archimedes games. I'm quite fond of the system, honestly, for what was going on at the time. It was pretty amazing, and it was it used the ARM architecture, which was really revolutionary.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other games in '91, like even for MS-DOS, a much more common thing for the US. A lot of games just did not respond this well. I think Duke Nukem was around this time. Commander Keen is really the first game I would say as a platformer that established good platforming for for the PC, for MS-DOS, you know? And this, honestly, this almost looks like it controls better than Commander Keen. Commander Keen 1 is so rough, like, seriously.
I agree. I think this controls a lot better than some of those early Apogee games.
Yeah, not only that, but we've got this music here. I don't know who made the music. Was it one of the two developers? We have Bandit in chat. Oftentimes, music can do a lot of work to make or break a game. And honestly, I would say that this game seems pretty fun even without this absolute bop.
The music is great.
Yeah, this music is good.
Unfortunately, back in the days where you could have music or sound effects, but not both. So we went with music for this match, but there are some sound effects, which honestly aren't too notable. They're what you'd expect: little footsteps and like a little clink sound when you pick things up.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
It didn't really add any information to the game that they're missing.
So it looks like the devs got the music from somewhere else. That's completely valid as well. If you're not a computer, oh my gosh, Jeff, I'm having a hard time talking. Computer composer. If if you don't compose music, then that's completely fine. I love it.
So it's apparently from a tracker system called Serial Port.
Okay, I haven't heard of that. I am definitely a confuser, though. I'll go ahead and agree with that, yeah.
So, bro, you have a copy of the manual which has some of the lore in it. If maybe you want to read some of that to chat.
I do? Where is it?
Or maybe I didn't say... Well, you're about to, if you don't.
I really hope so.
All right, give me a sec.
Yeah, I'm ready for some lore. We gotta find out more about Bobby Blockhead. He is kind of a blockhead, though. Look how short his head is. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, like, even today, whenever anybody finishes a project, even if it's not perfect, still amazing that you were able to get something done. Also, I saw the map on Netman Matt screen. It looks like a home area that you're going through, but it's in the shape of an elephant, and I'm all about that.
This was actually released like with a box and art and everything. So you know, a lot of the sort of shareware stuff that I often give out, you know, comes with the README text, and that's about it. But so there's a lot of extra effort that goes into making this and distributing it. So you know, it was really impressive that the bunch of school kids were able to do this. Sold over 2,000 copies.
Or less than.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. This is, for being 16 years old, if you make a game, this is your first game. So even if it sells under 2,000 copies, heck, we know games that were made by teenagers that sold 0 copies, like literally exactly 0 copies. And yeah. I still love those games. So seriously, like 2,000 copies sold by teenagers in 1991. I'm going to go ahead and say that that is a huge success for that age. Like seriously, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely an era when, you know, I don't know as much about in the UK, but, you know, in the Amiga side and on the Commodore, there were a lot of relatively young folks churning out games that actually did pretty well commercially. And this was, of course, before the modern indie era where there are a lot of tools available to make game development more accessible.
By the way, you did give me the manual. I don't see any lore in this. Where's the lore? There's no lore. I need to learn about who is Bobby. Why is he a blockhead?
Oh, you're right. I gave you the lore is on the box, not on the manual.
Okay, so yeah, the
Sorry.
manual, I'm like, let me go ahead and read you the lore. Bobby Blockhead versus the Dark Planet is designed to run on any Archimedes with at least 1 megabyte of memory
And that's actually
RISC
itself kind of
OS.
impressive. There were eventually some pretty powerful Acorn Archimedes computers, but this will run on a potato.
This'll run on one of the most basics. Holy cow. And if it's Acorn Archimedes, you probably didn't I don't know if you had sound cards set up. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that if it's not MS-DOS, it was probably easier to set up sound. Freaking audio configuration. Did you send me the box? I need to see it. Yes.
Okay. You should have the box now. It's a little hard to read. I'm sorry, but that's just a function of it being black text on a purple gradient.
Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and say that because this is a British developer, there are going to be some words that don't mean exactly the same thing that they mean for us today, especially here in the US. Here we go. Bobby Blockhead, crack soldier. See, that just means he's a really good soldier. He's not a soldier for crack, cocaine. Okay, this is not a drug reference. He's just a really good soldier. Okay, Bobby Blockhead, crack soldier, part-time potholer, freelance adventurer, and all-round good guy, was on maneuvers with the army in deep as Milton Keynes when disaster struck. Bobby was captured by a ruthless gang of unwashed alien baddies from the mysterious Dark Planet. Second star on the left, straight on till Tuesday. Huh, I was gonna say Robin Hood, no Peter Pan reference, yeah. Robin Hood, Peter Pan, they're different people. Okay, in a cell deep underground awaiting his fate, Bobby gradually learned of the aliens' evil plot. The Dark Planet, being unsurprisingly rather dark, meant the aliens could not withstand the bright sunlight on Earth. Their substitute light sources are the strange Wattinium crystals. Watt, spelled with 2 T's. That means that they are electric. Okay. Unfortunately, the radiation from the crystals has caused harmless local insects to become massive mutant monsters. However, the aliens have not yet brought sufficient crystals from the Dark Planet, so they can build their rather large and horrendously dangerous war machines. Can our hero save the day?
Milton, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a little bit more. Bobby has managed to escape from his cell using the tried and tested beat up the guards when they bring the food routine, and has a chance to thwart the baddie scheme, it fortuitously being a bank holiday and the aliens having gone to a car boot sale for the weekend. Oh my gosh, selling things out of your trunk?
I really like British humor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. You know what?
And so this was right up my alley.
My rule is that, like, if there is any alcohol in a game, it's probably a British game. But I'm surprised we have a British indie game that does not have any beer in it yet. And I'm very impressed. Okay, anyways. It's a bank holiday, and they went to the car boot sale for the weekend, leaving only the nasty but very stupid guards behind. Using only his skill, luck, and fresh breath confidence, Bobby must clear the vast cavern complex of Wattinium crystals, preventing them causing more harm to the Earth's wildlife, and hopefully, when the aliens return, they won't be able to find the caves in the dark. If on the way he can pocket some alien gold as well, no one will complain. Except maybe the aliens. Will Bobby save mankind? Will he avoid the guards? Will the aliens come back soon? And did they put out the cat before they left? It's up to you and Bobby to find out. Now, saying did they put the cat out before they left? That's an interesting question, and I really hope that we see a cat show up.
I have to admit I did not play through all 25 levels of this, but I did not see a cat.
Okay,
but
there might be a cat final boss.
There might be a cat waiting for us at the end of the game. I don't know.
So one thing that we haven't really talked about is how you control the game, because as far as I can tell, this is one of the rare single button games where it's not up to jump.
Well, so here's the thing about that.
Okay.
This game very helpfully has right off the bat a define keys screen.
Ooh, I like that.
You start it up and it says play or define keys. So I told everybody, go define your keys, pick whatever you want. Because of emulation issues, you have to have your caps lock key on to get the emulator to recognize that they're letters. For some reason, it only recognizes capital letters. I don't know what the deal is with the emulator. This is on Arculator emulator.
That's fine.
But anyway, so they were all able to go define them, but the default is, I think, like ZX and then like slash and apostrophe. So it's one of those sort of two-handed
it's almost like QAOP for the control for up, down, left, right. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. And then the space to jump and enter to look at the terminal.
Okay.
And then there's also Q, which takes you back to the menu, essentially allowing you to restart.
Yeah, gotcha.
And because there are some soft lock points in this game,
you don't say.
I mean, it was the era when you did those things.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say that it's absolutely forgivable because you have passwords for every single level. You are not losing a whole lot of time if you get one of the soft locks. Yeah.
Right. And you have the thing in there that I mean, it's not like you have to exit the application, right? You just hit Q. You can go back and restart the level. So it looks like actually Netmon Matt got into one of those situations.
Yeah. I mean, snowflakes. I love that. That's a good password. Here's the deal. You know, somebody is pointing out that games did that at the time. Doom had a lot of pits that if you fell into, you were probably going to die. I would say, though, if y'all go and explore, Doom usually has a way to get out with hidden warps or something in those pits. Almost always you'll be able to get out of the slow death. And so you just got to play Doom more. If you never got out of the pits, that's probably your fault. But yeah, I would say that like getting stuck in a pit that you can't die in is a lot more frustrating, and then also getting stuck, you know, having a blind jump into a pit that is going to not kill you, and that you don't have a password to get back into the game, and it's just got either a continue system or no continue system. That's on the pretty much unforgivable level type of mistake. But for this, like a soft lock, you can just restart the stage and it doesn't punish you for restarting. You don't have a limited number of retries. You've got the continue. I'm going to go ahead and say for 1991, especially for indie devs, great. That's perfect. That's completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, there was certainly a lot of variety in that era as to how things like continues and lives and soft locks were treated. These days, we sort of have an idea of what we expect games to be doing, what we consider fair. The standards didn't really exist, but they were sort of worked out by people innovating, trying different things, seeing what worked and what didn't work.
Yep.
And it doesn't always look to a modern gamer exactly like what they would expect, but it wasn't unusual to see setups like this.
Now, one thing I have to ask, because I think I've seen it for some of the players, when you walk off a ledge, do you fall straight down? Or do you have any air control if you don't jump?
You can move, yeah. In fact, you have to.
Well, it almost looked like you have to jump before you fall down, otherwise you may just go straight down, but I'm not... I might not be getting that completely. Looks like Time Wanderer is in one of those pits that he may not be able to get out of. And now it's tomb time. Yeah! I really want to see the game over screen, though. I want to see the scorpions again.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. People will die. There'll be lots of death.
Yeah.
I'm
really liking this. This is fun.
About the gameplay, because we're almost halfway into the match and haven't been able to talk about that too much. There really is a lot to say about this. But so one thing that I thought was really innovative about this game, when I played through it, I noticed that the enemies were not doing a lot of damage to me. They don't have iframes, but if you're going in the opposite direction, it looks like you're not going to take much damage. So I was just kind of brazenly going through the game. There were a lot of objects to collect and not really paying any attention to how much health I was losing. But the levels are long, and you will have your health worn down. And there are a very limited number of health pickups. There's a turkey that you can pick up on some levels that restores your health.
Yeah.
But particularly because you don't get a guaranteed refill after a level, you could end up getting pretty close to the end of the level and just not have enough energy to get to the exit. There's a lot of backtracking you have to do on some of these levels.
Yeah, I can see that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It's fine. It's just that if you're low on health, the game, which seems like, oh, this isn't really that hard, I don't need to worry about enemies, all of a sudden is like, oh my gosh, one hit and I'm dead.
Oh yeah. I love that the dev, by the way, in chat, Bandit is saying, I must admit you've done well getting to level 3. I would have given up long ago. Well, that is the beauty of having this be a blind race where the players have 1 hour to make as much progress as they can. They don't really have a choice. If they want to win the tournament, they have to play this game, and they have to try to make as much progress. And honestly, I would say that compared to many of the other games that we have here, this is almost painless comparatively. Like, this is something that every level is a little bit different. The difficulty definitely escalates while going through this. It's got flaws, but it still is keeping me interested. I really hate collectathons. Everybody here should know that. But each part of the stage is different enough that it actually keeps you learning different methods to get through areas without taking damage. Like it's not there's variety, and I like that. And that is so rare, even in professional development companies making collectathons. That is a very rare thing to have. So devs, you should give yourselves more credit for making something that I think has a lot of redeemable qualities in it. Yeah,
I definitely agree. One of the reasons I picked this game is because the levels have their own different look, and a lot of the collectathons I've picked in the past for DOS, because they're, genuinely bad games, but also, unfortunately, don't have a lot of variety in the types of levels. This game, as you progress, there are new things that you have to contend with, like the teleporters are not in the first level, the conveyor belts, those right arrow blocks are not in the first level, and those things are gradually
the one-way blocks.
They're gradually introduced to you, and you get the clocks that extend your time. So, and there's a lot of differences that are happening in each level that keeps it interesting. Now, I don't know if it's like that through all 25 levels. I can't vouch for that. It kept my interest for a while.
Just so you know, it looks like Kuchiri and Netman Matt are both on level 4. This means that essentially those two are in first and second. Time Wanderer and Tempestrel are falling a little bit behind. Tempestrel, honestly, usually makes some really good pushes towards the end. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some places change, but I do wonder, what are the scores for this match? How many people are getting eliminated?
This is a 25-point match.
So one person, the person who comes in fourth, will be eliminated from the tournament after this game. And at this point, like Tempest Roll and Time Wanderer are the ones who are struggling the most.
Yeah, and this is a high stakes tournament. There are cash prizes as well as, I believe, a Neil Breen movie that might be available.
Oh my gosh, now that you mention it, I haven't seen the new Neil Breen movie, and we're not going to make guarantees at this point, but that will probably be the prize movie. But yeah, we give out over, last year we gave out over $2,000 worth of prizes. I plan on doing the same here. All of your subs and all of your help definitely helps cover some of those, so thank you all for the support here. I love to be able to be one of the few tournaments in it's not exactly a speedrunning tournament. I guess like it's a blind speedrun tournament where you're trying to get through as quickly as possible, never having played the game before. One of the few tournaments out there that can actually give prizes because of everybody's support. So thank you all. Thank you. But yeah, there's a new Neil Breen movie. It's the sequel to Twisted Pair, which it was the prize last year. And Neil Breen's movies just cost so much, and I have to like get shipping specifically for each person. I'm willing to do it though. It's just like, okay, here's $25 for a DVD with a handwritten label on it, you know? But at the same time, it's so good. His movies are perfect.
That's a word.
Yeah, honestly, and I'm willing to pay that. I'm willing to do it because I love to support indie artists, especially indie artists who obviously put a lot of work and a lot of soul into what they did, even if it didn't turn out to be good. This game's just really cute, though. I'm really liking it.
I like it. I mean, it has a lot of personality to it. One of the things that's difficult about being a game master who picks a game is that I go through a lot of shovelware, right? Like, there's a lot of really mediocre games that you hopefully will never see on here because they're not interesting, you know? I mean, there are tons of collectathons I would never pick, and they're perfectly competent. But you know, why would you watch them? You're not going to enjoy it. I don't want to play something mediocre. I want to play something that makes me feel something, even if it's pure, unadulterated anger. Art is made. One of the biggest reasons art exists is to get emotion out of people. And if you are frustrating somebody with a game, maybe that's not the emotion you meant to get out of them, but it is still something. You are still having an effect on the people playing it, and I think that is perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you're going to fail spectacularly. I wouldn't even say this is a failure, though. This looks fun. It is fun. It certainly has areas that could be improved when you're looking at it from the perspective of you try to fall off a ladder, and if you push left or right and get back on the ladder, you sort of are stuck climbing it again, and the ladders are a little finicky. You need to be sort of lined up fairly precisely between on the horizontal axis to get into some of the jumps. Like your head will easily hit the ceiling and not let you go up where you want to go. Yeah, some of the holes that you have to fall in, you have to sort of line yourself up perfectly. It's got like Mario had it perfect, where if you're walking, you'll fall into a hole, and if you're running, you can run over a one-block hole. This game, it's just you're too good. You're Mr. Blockhead. You're Bobby Blockhead, and the square block goes in the square hole, and it fits perfectly, and if it's just a little bit off, it's not going down in the hole. Yeah. So Tempest Roll found found his way up to that area. There, I thought there might be something there, but I couldn't find any. I thought maybe there'd be a secret or an Easter egg. Novasol went there as well when testing this game, and thank you, Novasol, for testing this out.
Yes.
But wasn't able to find anything up there. But this certainly seemed like the kind of game where there's a big open area that doesn't do anything. It's a little suspicious, something you might want to explore a little bit more.
Yeah. Jeff, I'm thinking about this game. I would have played this so much as a kid. I gotta be honest. Like, I think partly because of the music. It looks good. I would have played, like, I played all the way through the original Duke Nukem, which is a great game. If you've never played it, it's pretty janky for its time, but it still is a heck of a lot of fun. And I'd say that this, like, is at least as fun. Not only that, but like Duke Nukem, I don't think it had a password system. You had to start from the beginning.
Yeah, you know, I certainly have a reputation about the kinds of games I give out, but honestly, they're generally fun games. Even when they're...
Jeff, you gave me like an edutainment game about drinking and risks of alcohol, and I still don't understand how to control completely in that game, but it was fun. Like, I'm really glad I got to experience that nightmare, because it's something that I wouldn't have been able to experience outside of this tournament, you know? And I kind of eventually want to get back to that game one day.
Yeah, I've generally gotten the reaction from competitors that they were surprised that they liked the game that I've given out or actually want to complete it later, which is always kind of amazing to me.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, we even had somebody speedrun some of the games.
Oh, we certainly have. In fact, AGDQ is going to feature a game that was first learned about when I gave it out in Kusog7ande.
Which one is that? Yeah, that's as a backup, right?
It is as a backup.
Yeah. I am listed as a commentator if it manages to get squeezed into the schedule and not just stay as a backup. And I'm really excited for that. I do know that Wolf is playing a game that was discovered in through the Kusog7ande process as well.
I think that was one of mine as well, but I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, it's the Korean bootleg. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do. You know, it may be weird if you're for people who are from the UK to hear this, but Acorn Archimedes is looked at as something kind of exotic here in the US.
Yeah.
People haven't heard of here. And certainly don't know the games for it. And so, you know, when I try and feature things from a lot of different parts of the world and different console systems to give people an idea sort of what was going on in different countries and different time periods that you just sort of wouldn't learn about by reading or watching a documentary often. You sort of need to dig quite a bit to get a sense of, you know, what was really going on with the hobbyists and what were the kids into playing.
By the way, so viewers know, it looks like Tempestrel and Kuchiri are on level 5, which means Tempestrel has made up a lot of time. Time Wanderer still on level 3, I believe. Netman Matt on level 4. Right now, Time Wanderer is in the biggest risk of getting eliminated from the tournament. One person will be going home, which is where they already are. So they're not really going anywhere. They're just going to sit there for a while. Be like, oh, okay. Yeah, but you know what? I see Wolf running Dokkaebi Gaganda at 3 a.m. my time, 5 a.m. Eastern, Thursday morning this next week on GDQ. We've also got Yolanda that managed to get in this year, and I kind of would say that that's Kusog7ande's fault. We always try to get a
Not my
few
fault,
people to
but it
send
is.
games in. And Axe Battler, Legend of Golden Axe, I don't want to say that that's our fault necessarily, but Sharfers definitely thought that he was going to be playing it in the awful block, but it's not in there. It got out.
We definitely have had a surprising number of people speedrunning games they learned about through Kusog7ande.
I love it. I love it so much. This is
I-
such a fun, in my opinion, a fun way to discover something that you have never played otherwise. And our dear developers, I wish that, like, you know, I like to think of this as a way to preserve things that were made in the past. I always, like, if games are available to purchase, I really want to purchase them, but a lot of games have just been out for so long, never came out for modern systems. Nothing today will play this except with emulators. So I'm just hoping that we can at least express some of the love that we have for these creations that were like 2 freaking decades ago. 22 years. This is 22 years old. Look, I mean, that's older than Bobby Blockhead himself.
Well, I certainly want to echo that, and this game is available from the Archimedes Software Preservation Project, JASP, jaspp.org.uk.
Are you serious? Ooh, okay. I see. We're not going to see Bobby Blockhead VR. I mean, Time Spinner. Are you sure about that? We could potentially have Bobby Block. There might be too much chumping in it. I gotta be honest.
You never know.
You never know. It's probably not gonna happen.
Sometimes people take an IP that they created a long time ago and do something with it.
Okay, I gotta ask, because I went to the website and it looks like, did you say org or? Give me the website name again.
You're in the wrong place.
I am definitely in the wrong place.
.org.uk.
That's what I put in, JASPP, because as far as I can tell, it's not a registered domain.
J is in Jeff, A.
Yeah.
S is in Sam, PP.
I mean, I see forums.jaspp.org.uk. So
That's
you
it.
have to have forums.jaspp.
Oh yeah, if that's where it'll take you, and then you can search for it.
Okay. Cool. Let me go ahead and just. I'm
Here's a
putting.
link for people that want to go directly to it.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, if you don't have forums.jasp, then it takes you to a buy this domain page.
Oh, okay, weird. I don't know why I didn't have that issue, but at any rate, yeah. So there is a preservation project for Archimedes games. It's a very active community. This runs on the emulator Arculator, and I just gave them the 2.1 version, which came out not too long ago.
Ooh, okay.
And they've done a really great job preserving the software from this era, and it's very easy to use. It's not like having to deal with MAME or anything. You just sort of double click and you're in.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, by the way, 3Hams is saying there's a map, and that immediately makes it better than almost every collectathon. I would basically agree with you. Like,
Yes.
honestly, we have had collectathons where later on we went and found a full map of a stage, and it's like, what is this nightmare?
Right.
Because they're so big so often, and if you miss one thing, you have to go back to the very beginning of the stage in order to find it. Like, this game is surprisingly well. I mean, it does that, but that's usually like.
But you get the map.
You can
right?
just hit the death
But
button,
things
you know.
are generally divided into sections, so it's not like just some crazy route that you have to go through that doesn't make any sense. Like, you can actually sort of look at the map, visualize it, and figure out, okay, I've cleared out this whole section, time to go on to the next section.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, you do have to do some backtracking. You have to get keys in this game, and there are 5 different unique types of keys. So you can see at the bottom, each of the keys looks slightly different.
And you can get completely filled up in keys and for a type of key and not be able to pick up more, or am I mistaken? Because Netman Matt just opened a door and is backtracking to pick up that key. Yeah, you can only hold 3 keys of a single type. Because of that, you might end up having to backtrack in order to get one of the keys that you couldn't pick up before. Ooh, interesting. I don't know if I love backtracking so much, but it really wasn't that much of backtracking, like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely, I found it a little annoying when I got, so it's really important to check these computer terminals to see how many items you have left, because when I wasn't paying too much attention, I would just sort of get towards the end and realize, oh my gosh, I missed one. Where is it?
Yeah, I have seen the players checking the terminals fairly regularly, so they're definitely thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a soft lock, Netman Matt. No. Can you imagine getting teleported into a soft lock? Let's see. Are they typing in chat? Let me see.
I was waiting for this moment.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and say that as much praise as I'm giving, Kuchiri has said in Discord, this is probably the worst game I played.
I mean, that was a very rude trick to send the teleporter, send you into a place that's locked.
Yeah! Yeah! That's not great. However, we love games that make you feel, and I love games that make players feel very angry, like Tempestral right now with a soft lock. Okay, are you gonna type in Discord? I'm waiting. Are you gonna type? Are you gonna type? Come on. Share with me. Share with me your emotions. Let them all out. Nope. Just gonna get back into the game. That's fair.
No, just back to the buttonhole.
Yeah. You know what? I wonder, because the dev did so kindly stop by in chat. If you're still here, Shadow, or was it Bandit or Shadow who was here?
Who's Bandit?
Bandit, yeah. Bandit, if you are still here, what do you do these days? Do you, I would guess most people who made a game in their teenage years moved on to something other than video games. Like, I know with the game that Corndan's running, Battle of the Eras, the main dev for that is a doctor, I believe, at this point, which is really cool. So, yeah, I'm always curious, what happened after this? What did you go and do with your life?
We don't hear back from them. I will give a brief answer for when I was able to find.
Aha! Yeah.
So I needed, of course, to track him down to get him to stop by our Twitch chat.
That was really cool, though. Like, I love, and I hope that, you know, there's nothing but love here. Well, a little bit of hate, but most... that's from the 4 players. The rest of us, nothing but love and joy.
Yeah. I mean, this makes such a good watch. I mean, I'm glad I'm not playing it anymore. But you know, an hour or 2 was enough for me to play this.
Yeah, I'd say that like Yoho Yoho may have been one of the best collectathons we've had on Kusog7ande. Yes. In terms of being able to watch and enjoy it, this is pretty high up there. Like, I'm able to see every level looks different, which is like number 1 for me when it comes to collectathons. Each area of the level actually looks reasonably different. That way, it's like players can get a little bit lost, but not as lost as they normally would. Props for that. Some of the BS in the game, honestly, that just comes from inexperience when it comes to developing video games. Yeah, guess what? If you're teenagers and you're making the first game that you've ever made, you're probably not going to follow every single guideline that's not been written yet. Because they don't exist yet. Like, you've got an idea of what could make a fun game, you just gotta go with it. And you're going to have some failures, you're going to have some successes. I feel like this game has both of those. It's exactly what I'd like. This is something that I would be proud of, or that I at least would say, like, even if somebody made this today, I'd say they should be proud of it.
Yes, I would as well. So, as I mentioned before, the devs were also involved in the demo scene, and so did a lot of pretty good hard coding.
Yeah.
Since I haven't heard a response back, I will say that
Sure.
Bandit works at Red Hat as a senior software engineer.
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
In the UK, Red Hat is they publish Linux, or a Linux version.
They make a version of Linux? Okay, that's OS development is a little intense. That's really cool.
It is, yeah. And specifically, there are particular projects that they're working on, which I don't even understand what all of it means.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to understand everything.
Cloud-native business automation for building intelligent applications backed by battle-tested capabilities.
I'm gonna pretend I understood every single thing that you just said, because that's cool.
And business logic integration platform, which provides unified and integrated platform for rules, workflow, and event processing.
That is like the most corporate description you could have said for, like, literally, you could have been describing a toilet right there. There's the dev. Yeah, you work for Red Hat now. Honestly, I was saying operating system development is really cool. A little bit difficult.
So I don't know what any of that means, but it does mean that the developer's a pretty sophisticated, amazing programmer. Like, the only people I have ever known who've worked at Red Hat are all superstars.
Yeah, that's really cool. So we have a lot of love for you. It's awesome that you were able to keep working in the programming side of things and move on to work at something that is pretty substantial. Again, OS development, there is so much that goes into an operating system. Not only that, but making an operating system that's going to be secure and reliable. So seriously, fantastic job. What about the other dev for this game? What have they moved on to?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Phantom.
Maybe it was just a Phantom.
Phantom is Steven.
Bye. Thank you again for stopping on by, Bandit. It's great to have you here. Nothing but love for you. Best of luck with everything else, and I hope you had fun.
I am always excited to have developers stop by, and I unfortunately am not able to give them a lot of notice because I often don't know myself which game I'm going to be picking, and then even once I do, I can't, really be public about what I'm picking because
that's fair.
We don't need our competitors to know. And of course, in theory, somebody could also veto the game. So I never want to get expectations up too high. Somebody could have said, "Oh, Bobby Blockhead, of course, I've played that all the time since I was a kid. I'm a master at it."
It's like, oh my. Yeah, you'd kind of be surprised how often that happens, that it's like, how the crap do you know about this game? Nobody knows about this game. I barely know about this game. You 100%ed it? What? How? What? What?
Yeah,
That's the Kuso experience right there.
that happened a strange amount. I've only had that happen once, that I've had something vetoed because somebody had seen it on McCaw's stream. But other than that, I think I pick things that are sufficiently obscure that don't usually have that problem.
Usually, yeah.
Usually, but it wouldn't have surprised me, honestly, if we had some competitors from the UK who had grown up with an Acorn Archimedes, that they would have purchased this game or known about it. I mean, the dev had said there were less than 2,000 copies sold, so that's statistically unlikely that
was
one
still
of our players would have been one of
that
those
was still
people,
the
but
era that people shared games, especially home computer games, often shared without selling. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it was shared around quite a bit. At the time while it was being sold, I would probably say better to buy it and support the small devs. But honestly, heck, when I was a kid, I know that I played a lot of pirated games simply because that's just how people shared everything.
yeah.
Like for Atari 800, I don't know how many of the games we had were purchased, or if any of the games we had were purchased. I gotta be honest.
And the funny thing about sort of being a kid in that era and wanting to develop video games is you sort of needed to pirate a copy of C++ or something like that. Because the tools weren't, like, there wasn't a lot of open source stuff you could just use, or free software you could use to make games. So if you were just a kid with no money, you were yourself having to pirate things.
Oh yeah.
To make it. So I kind of wonder when I see a lot of games made, like DOS games made in the 90s, like how many of those were actually made on, pirated versions of Windows and C++?
Oh, there's a very good chance that a lot of them were.
Well, as we are finishing up this match, we have a very close race because we have 3 competitors on the same stage, and which is level 5, and the Kuchiri is still on level 4.
Okay.
So it looks probably like we know who's going to be getting eliminated at this point. Do the specific places matter?
They do. 4th place will be eliminated. 3rd place may enter a tiebreaker, depending on if they had 5 or 24 or 25 points. So that's something that we should definitely pay attention to.
Okay, and then 1st and 2nd? I mean, I guess we want to know who's the winner.
Yeah, by the way,
So,
Kuchiri definitely
we'll figure it
did
out.
make it to level 5, but I don't know what level this is that Kuchiri is on. Is this level 6? And
is that level 6?
it may be.
I guess I was totally, it looked like one of the previous levels. But yeah, this is Horsehead, which is not one of the first 5 levels.
Not at all.
So I was completely backwards. Kuchiri is not in last, Kuchiri is in 1st. And that leaves us, well, that'll make it easy to figure out who we bring on to talk after this.
Heck yeah.
But figuring out 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place is going to involve me going through and counting how many of these items were collected.
If that is the measure that was given.
That is the measure that was given, and I knew fully well it was going to be a nightmare for me to do.
Yes!
I knew it, but here's the thing. It would have been, I think, kind of unfair if we had 3 players where the entire match was decided by when they got to this level, which meant that, like, the last half an hour of this match was meaningless.
Honestly,
Right.
I personally prefer that as well, Jeff.
Yeah.
Even if it means a lot more work for you.
Yeah. I think this is more fair. So you know, whatever. They've had to collect these things for an hour. I can take a few minutes to count them.
Yeah, I really hope somebody stays on the game over screen for a while. I want to see the scorpions.
Great.
Actually, let me ask Kuchiri to do that. Because I want to see.
There's also no full YouTube playthrough of this. People only get as far as like level 2, I think, on
Really?
YouTube. So this is now the furthest video evidence of anybody getting into this game. People want to try it out themselves. They're 25 levels, and you have a head start now.
Well,
Time to
everybody,
listen to the
that
password.
is Tim.
Tim,
AKA Time for all you normal people out there. I want to see the game over screen again. Yeah, Kuchiri made it to level 6. Oh my gosh. Well, with that said, it's very clear to us that Kuchiri has taken first place and is making it to the bracket. As for the other places, I don't have any clue. We're going to have to figure that out. One person is eliminated. One other person is definitely moving on. And one person will, unfortunately, maybe be part of the tiebreaker? Maybe? Yeah, the scorpions and the bees. Game over. You have died. Aw, I'm trying. But let me go ahead and welcome Kuchiri in. I feel like this was really impressive. Yeah, and you can go ahead and let the players know in Discord how they did and more or less what you're going to have to do when it comes to all of the pain here. However, it looks like we have our winner, Kuchiri, here. Hello, Kuchiri. Okay.
Sorry.
You've got some emotions. That's okay. The developer was like, I would have quit before this. So then I told him you didn't really have a choice. And there you go. That is the Kusog7ande experience. A lot of games that you would probably play for 5 minutes and be like, I'm done. And then guess what? You're not done. You're not done.
Here's the thing. I played 10 games for you guys over the last 2 years. This is the first game that's actually made me rage.
Really?
This is the first game that's actually made me rage.
Talk to me. Why? I need to know.
I don't know. It feels like it should be a much more simpler game, but just the level design, the instant death stuff, oh my god, like I spammed the yell and chat through my phone, like in the race room chat, like
I
10
saw
minutes ago, and that was me being level 5. I was like, oh my god. I was like, okay, I hit level 6. I should be good for 3rd. Oh.
yeah, you were the only person to make it to level 6.
Yes.
Oh, man.
The others got stuck on level 5.
Like me.
Yeah.
That was such a dumb maze. No offense to the developer. Great, good ideas in this game, I guess, but that maze.
Yeah. Okay, Kuchiri. They were 16. They were 16 years old making this game in 1991.
No, it's great.
Does that
It's great.
change anything for you?
No. I mean, here's the thing. I would be making similar quality stuff in, 16 years old. I probably have an RPG Maker game out there that is probably worse than High Glide or whatever. But
Hide glide. Hey, chat, everybody! I'm not the only person who's butchering words here today.
I have a speech impediment. Hey, I have a built-in excuse. I have a speech impediment. I was
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Actually, lucky you've got an excuse. No, I had to go to a speech therapist when I was a kid. Yeah, and occasionally when I get stressed out, it kind of pops up again. So,
Oh.
Kuchiri, you and I, Brothers in arms, okay?
Hey, and Brothers in Clock Tower, when am I storytelling game for Don't Make Us Bored?
Oh my gosh. Well, we're not having Don't Make Us Bored this next week. We have it the week after. Also, I apologize, Chad, if that sounded insensitive.
No.
Because
no.
I'm
lived this
trying to
all
be
my life.
I'm trying to be cool here, okay?
I was in speech therapy until freshman year of high school. Then I was told that if I continue speech therapy, they have to consider me part of the.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
That essentially you'd have to go into the separate program that. While it's good that it exists, it can also be a bit of an issue for people who, anyway, blah.
Anyway.
Underfunded. There you go.
Anyway, 2 Kusog7andes, 2 playoffs. Woo!
Yeah, you are going to the bracket, Kuchiri. That's really exciting.
I am so excited. Well, as I said, I've only done 2 Kusog7andes. I made it to the top 24 last Kusog7ande, so I'm all excited about this one. I'm hoping that my friends Willard and Mikan also join us. They're both in the same points group I'm in, so I'll be rooting them on whenever they get around.
Yeah, that's really great. I have to ask, because you got to spend an hour with this game, there were a lot of things that made you angry. Obviously, all of the deaths that, shouldn't have been there, or the soft locks that essentially had to kill, push whatever button it is to kill your character. Is there anything redeemable here?
No.
Could you? Okay. What about every level had its own theme, and you could tell areas of the levels apart? And for collectathons, that rarely happens. Tempestral says the music was genuinely good. The developers unfortunately didn't make that, but they were 16, so that's fine.
The music was okay. I feel like they could have given us more real estate, shrank the sprite down by maybe a third. It gave us more room so we could see enemy loops.
Okay.
The enemy loops really needed to be something you could see the whole loop of. That was the thing that was getting on my nerves the most, because I go up and down a ladder because stage 3 had to go in back and forth.
Yeah. I actually
and then here I am hugging a robot for half my health. It's oh well, better hit Q.
Yeah, by the way, we are noting the developer was in the chat, and they commented that, you all played longer than they expected anybody to play it. You didn't really have a choice, but, I that's something that I really like about games like this, that people, get to experience something that most other people, even from the time period, wouldn't have gotten that far, or wouldn't have played more than 5 minutes before switching to something else. And honestly, in my opinion, art is supposed to make you feel something. Rage possibly wasn't the intended emotion, but it is an emotion, and you got it, Kuchiri. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we made you mad.
This is the first time I ever raged at a Kusog game. This season, by the way, has been nothing but score attack. So the second I get a game that's the furthest, I'm finally, my time to shine.
Nope. I mean, yes, but nope. You came in first, but still.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I don't want to hear at the end of a match is a competitor saying that they were bored.
Oh, no, you missed out on my ET game, round 3.
I love that game. What are you talking about, Kuchiri? That game's amazing. I want to go plant some flowers.
Anyway. Don't we have any more games to get to, bro?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Thank you. Kuchiri, again, congratulations for making it to the bracket.
Thank you.
Everybody else, we will let you know that the places for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, we will definitely let you know. Jeff has to go count how many crystals they got. Kachiri, I love it. And
I
yeah.
counted my own crystals. I was like, okay, I better count my own crystals, so make Jeff's life easier. And it turned out to be 69. I got to stage 6, 69 left. Funny number. Let's go. Very nice. Oh, okay.
I love it. This is so great. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you later. Take care, my friend.
Yeah, don't forget, clock tower.
Oh, wait. Blood on the clock tower. Not this next week during GDQ, but maybe the week after. We'll see.
Okay, awesome. See ya.
Okay, take care.
All
Bye.
right, take care.
Bye. Oh my gosh, everybody, this was such a fun match. We got to experience something that I really thought was fun to watch, but the players did not enjoy it quite as much. As it turns out, playing games can be a completely different experience from watching, and so, heck, I'm pretty happy.